nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all. It's your buddy Big Johnny G, the Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Hey, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us here this Wednesday. You know, every Wednesday we do an unboxing. In fact, we drop a new video every day of the week. 365 days a year, guaranteed. At least that's what we've been doing for the last 2 years anyway. But you're here for an unboxing, and so am I. I love unboxings, getting to see something new. And this is something new from something old. This is something that rose up at me, and I didn't even know about until shortly before I got it. All right, so before this conversation goes any further west, why don't you and I head down to the table, and together we are going to find out what's in the Pixie box. I'll see you down the table. Ooh, Reanimator, the board game. Perfect Herbert West's experimental formula in this nightmarish take on H.P. Lovecraft's classic creation. So I only recently found out about this game. I'm glad we finally got it here, because this is something different for a Lovecraft game. And it's not just cults and trying to stop cults, right? This is actually based a little bit stronger on a storyline by Lovecraft. And it's by, Dynamite and Linvander Studios. An interactive horror game by Thomas F. Gofton. And it's based more on the story than the movie. But I am very excited, and so is Fu Manchu. Alright, Fu, let me hit this blade. You totally agree with the experiments that Herbert West is doing, right? And you want to see more of them. And then raise your own army. Well, that's not going to happen today, Fu. Alright. It's alright, buddy. Alright, we're going to get you off to a safe spot over here. The legendary Fu Manchu, everyone. Alright, now, as you know, at this point, I'm going to say the same thing I say in every unboxing, my friends. Are you ready? Always cut away from yourself. Okay, so that's the plastic off. If there's any glare that was bothering you, it certainly will not be bothering you now. Reanimator, the board game. The play area consists of 8 3D punchboard buildings. Oh, I love 3D elements to a board game, don't you? Tell unique stories with thousands of possible card combinations. Welcome to the spine-tingling world of Reanimator. You and your friends take on the role of assistants to the mad genius Herbert West. Traveling around the ill-begotten community of Arkham, Massachusetts, you will gather musty tomes, mysterious ingredients, and even cadavers of the recently deceased for your dark work. And what work would that be? To turn back death itself. Sorry. Alright, well, I want to see what's inside, don't you? So let's dig in. If I can get it open, there we go. Big fingers. A rule book this small in a box this big. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, I hate gigantic, huge album cover size rule books. Oh, I despise them. It was like fresh off the printer. Alright, how to put the little buildings together. Setting up everything. Alright. Font is a nice size. Actually, the font's a tad big, I think. That's okay. I am very much looking forward to digging into this rule book. Nice. God, I love 3D elements. And speaking of 3D elements, we get to build them. Get an idea of... Well, this came out nice and easy, no tears. Oh, very good. Very good. Put that back for now. And this is everything else. Okay. Minimalism. No, really, it's awesome. You know, even though we all love big, huge games, sometimes they can be a little too fidgety, right? Let's keep it back to the basics. Okay. A dice roll. That's what they were supposed to do, is a standy clip. And the only other thing we have here are these 3 sets of cards. Act 1, Act 2. Let's check them out. See the quality. See what the cards are. Herbert West. Mad Genius. Looks identical, both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. A workbench. Is the same on the back? Yeah. Double-sided. Used cadavers. So let's see. These are all Act 1 cards here. Yes, they are. Well, we'll take a look at a few of them. I don't want to give too much away of the game, but we want to check out what it looks like. The heat is on. Police are looking into recent disappearing bodies. They have a number of ideas, and unfortunately, medical students are one of them. We hid in the university, afraid of what might happen. Or, as they looked through the university, we ran, leaving behind our previous experiments. Occult or science? Oh! A little bit of a breakdown. What about this one? Says, science or investigation? We hadn't aged a day. I strongly suspect that he might have been experimenting on himself, though I couldn't figure out how or why. I never questioned him on it. Gain 2 health, lose 1 sanity, or the science aspect of it. But I would never directly question my partner in his task. I investigated his rooms and conducted some experiments of my own. I learned nothing, but was afraid. These are really nice, the way they telling the stories. Doubling the night watch. Even though there was no way they could have known our efforts, I feared the worst. Watching over my shoulder, I had to continue to cover our efforts. Move the city watch to Herbert West's location. Ooh, and these are just the Act 1 cards, so I'm assuming that this here means that things are going to get ramped up, aren't they? Well, let's find out. Alright, hold on. Are these all Act 3? These are all Act 3. So we're kind of jumping ahead. We want to see how they progress, right? Perfect, perfect. I love the reference cards. The cheat cards, if you will. Okay, cool. But this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see this before we see this. Okay, and these are all Act 2, Act 2, Act 2. So let's start here. Death of a city watch. There was an incident in Christchurch Cemetery. The body of a city watch has been clawed to death. Police used cadaver as an undead at the same location as the city watch, then moved the city watch to the police station. Then came the scourge, grinning and laughing. We were press-ganged into service, working as would-be physicians to try to stop the spread of disease. It did present opportunities. That's the occult side. Lose 2 health, gain 1 cadaver, or the investigation side. Despite our education, we managed to avoid being pressed into service. Each step of the way, we were dodging the disease, but we prevailed. No effect. One more science or occult. The university hallways are quiet. Perhaps far too quiet. You decide to hide, to avoid the difficulties that you may face. Lose 1 ingredients. Or the occult side. When things are too silent, it means that something terrible is likely afoot. You decide that it is time to run. No effect. Ooh, I want to see the Act 3. How is this progressing? Uncommon shots. It is uncommon to fire all 6 shots at a revolver with great suddenness. It is uncommon to fire all 6 shots of a revolver with great suddenness when 1 would probably be sufficient. But many things in the life of Herbert West were uncommon. Lose 2 health. Or, it turned out that it was a matter of fraying nerves rather than anything of any import. Lose 1 sanity. Bankruptcy. The recent bankruptcy of one of our suppliers made gaining goods that much easier, so long as we had the money to support our purchases. Convert any number of ingredients into tomes, or any number of tomes into ingredients. The horror. A creature is rampaging across the country. A creature is rampaging across the county, all the way from Dunwich. You decided to go out and investigate, learning more about the occult and the unknown. Lose 2 health, but gain 1 tome. That was for the end subplot, or the other end subplot. Dunwich has long been a source of things that are foolish. Stay home. Be safe. And only lose 1 sanity. Okay, 1 last one, we'll call it. Of course, I had to pick the big one. Azathoth stirs. There came to that room wild streams of violent midnight glittering with dust of gold, vortices of dust and fire swirling out of the ultimate space in heavy There came to that room wild streams of violent midnight glittering with dust of gold, vortices of dust and fire swirling out of the ultimate spaces of heavy. There came to that room wild streams of violent, midnight glittering with dust of gold, vortices of dust and fire, swirling out of the ultimate spaces and heavy with perfume from beyond the worlds. Place this card in the middle of the play area. Each time an occult card is drawn, you must take a tome from those you have gathered and place it on this card. If unable to do so, lose 1 sanity. When this card has 6 tomes on it, you may place it into the discard pile. Then shuffle the discard pile back into the subplot deck and return the tomes to the bank. Acts, subplots. I am really fired up to finally try to play this game. And great, because it runs as few as 1 player. So worst case scenario still happening, I can do that. Alright everyone, I'm your buddy Big Johnny G for 2 Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. And my friends, I am out of here.